Mabu, hi, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. Have you ever heard the phrase, don't marry someone you can live with, marry someone you can't live without? I want to talk about that because I used to hear that growing up, and I thought, well, that sounded pretty good to me. And I've had some second thoughts about that lately, so please subscribe here to Love Beyond the Sea. This is a channel about marriage to a woman from the Philippines. And so you have to learn to choose the right person before you're going to have a long life with somebody in marriage. And so I think we can learn from this today. I'd like to know what you think. I've got an affiliate link to Christian Filipino, which is where I met my wife back in 2015. Even have a book called Meant to Be, A Match Made in Heaven. You can get, it's like $5.50. I think I've got about 550 pages there for download. And leave a comment here. I want to talk about looking for somebody to marry. Marry somebody that you can't live without. I think that's kind of a dangerous sentiment, because how long would it take you to know that this woman is the woman that you can't live without? You just have to have her. It's her. It's not somebody else. Does it take a month? 2 months, 6 months, 2 years, longer than that? Don't marry somebody you can live with. Marry somebody you can't live without. It's almost like the safe option versus the even better option. I would like to interject that people change. Not only that, the longer you are with a woman in marriage, the more things will come up, the more you're going to learn about her. You might not have known before. You might have thought she was absolutely perfect in every way. Can't live without her. So I'm going to ask this person to marry me. And then you find out that maybe living with them isn't quite the wonderful experience you assumed it would be for some reason. Maybe she's revealing more of herself as she goes through more experiences with you, and you find out how she handles different stresses, because you really can't learn what they're going to be like under some kind of duress until you're in that situation. So my wife and I, for example, we've been married since May of 2015, over 8 years now. I'd like to think we'll be together. I'm certainly not going to chase her out. I would do anything possible for this woman's good. We got married, believe it or not, in only 54 days. I met her online. I think it was like, gosh, we had our first, I don't know, it was on the 13th of March, something like that. No, 17th of March. I joined Christian Filipino on the 13th. I think the 17th of March, I winked at her. May 10th, we were married in the Philippines, long, long ways away, like 9,800 miles. So did I feel like I can't live without this person? I mean, come on. Less than 2 months, I could have talked to some other people. Maybe they would have been better for me. Did I make a mistake, big mistake? Well, I don't think so. I think you just have to determine that you want to marry somebody. Use your common sense. If they refuse your offer of money or they never ask for it, that's a good sign. You got a chance there. But just be realistic. A woman from the Philippines is a woman, and she's giving up some things to marry you, especially if there is an age gap and she's leaving her whole family. That's not something she really relishes doing. You're going to have to adapt to each other. The fewer expectations of excellence that you have, the better. The fewer ideas that she's somebody you can't live without, the better. So what I recommend is for you to get married, don't be picky. Make sure that you kind of have the same mindset and belief about certain things like a world view that you can exist together. Realize she's not perfect and you're not perfect. You're going to keep making mistakes in your marriage despite your best intentions, and so will she. She's going to say things that bother you. You're going to say things that bother her. She's going to do things that bother you. You're going to do things that bother her. This woman that you felt like maybe you couldn't live without. So just no big deal. Expect it. So this phrase, don't marry somebody you can live with, marry somebody you can't live without, I just think that's pie in the sky. I would like to know what you think about that. How would you ever know? I don't think you have to spend 5 years with somebody. Lots of people have known each other, dated each other 3-4 years, got married and divorced. People who were married for 10 or 15, 20 years and got divorced. So what is the secret? I think the secret is determining you're going to be the very best, loyal, forgiving, kind, sacrificial, unselfish man that you can possibly be to this woman. I hope that sounds like an exciting thing for you to do, because when she sees that type of behavior, she's probably going to think, wow, I can't do any better than this. She might even think, I can't live without this guy. I don't know. I mean, who knows what she's comparing you to? But you should make a good impression, be serious about being married, and just have realistic expectations. I just don't think you can use cliches to find somebody. Marriage is always going to be tough. People telling you, oh, these Filipinos are so submissive and docile, that's a bunch of baloney, because people aren't that way. So be the best you can be. Bring the best you can to the table. Don't expect her to be everything you want her to be. And then if you do that, I'll bet you're getting closer to finding love beyond the sea.